The 10 most bizarre creatures in the world. The poisonous blue angel. A terrifying monster with 150 teeth in its mouth. An old man with a white beard and flaming red lips. These are actually real and extraordinary creatures that exist around us. The world is vast and full of wonders. In places beyond our sight, some creatures grow freely, appearing as if they've been struck by lightning. In this episode, Guidepedia will take you to see these amazingly strange animals. Subscribe and let's begin our journey. Horn viper. This snake with devil-like horns is the horn viper. It's a venomous snake that lives in dry desert regions. Just by looking at its appearance, you can tell this poisonous snake is absolutely a desert creature. Its yellowish-brown body is short and thin, only about 24 to 32 inches long. The most striking feature on its body has to be the pair of horns on its head, cone-shaped and about 3/4 of an inch long. They stand erect like two small knives. However, these horns are usually tucked into grooves in the skull during normal times. They only stand upright when attacking or intimidating opponents, giving a tense, threatening impression. This makes the desert horn viper look extremely fierce. The horn viper's most common behavior is to disguise itself buried in sand, waiting for unfortunate prey to take the bait. In fact, its body color is so close to that of sand, and its speed is so quick that this ambush warrior's hunting method is very successful. Those unfortunate prey include small sharks, lizards, scorpions, mice, and more. The average length of a horn viper ranges from 12 to 24 inches. The longest horn viper on record measured about 33 inches. Its venom is quite potent, though generally not fatal. It causes extreme pain and burning sensations with immediately recognizable symptoms, feeling as if your heart is being squeezed by a hand. But one shouldn't take this lightly. Without timely treatment, it could lead to terrible consequences, such as amputation. The blue dragon sea slug. The most beautiful killer on the sea surface must be the blue dragon sea slug. Though only a few inches long, this tiny creature possesses deadly poison, even notorious box jellyfish, with venom comparable to that of cobra, is merely a meal for this creature. The origin of its name, blue dragon, comes from its blue and white body adorned with peculiar tentacles. When in water, these look like angel wings, resembling the legendary sea god Poseidon. When you think the blue dragon sea slug has its back to you, it's actually making eye contact. The blue side is actually its belly, while the silvery white side is its back. Despite having so many tentacles, these aren't used for swimming. The blue dragon sea slug can only float on the sea surface, drifting with the currents. Sometimes it gets washed ashore by waves. Whether it can catch prey depends entirely on luck. It's mainly distributed in various ocean regions around the world, such as the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans in warm tropical waters. In Taiwan's waters, its presence is occasionally spotted. So how does this seemingly zen-like and weak blue dragon hunt jellyfish that are dozens of times larger and highly venomous? Its hunting method is quite straightforward. It simply pounces on the jellyfish and devours it raw. It can incorporate the jellyfish's own venomous stinging cells into its own stinging cell sacs. Therefore, if you spot this beautiful blue angel on the sea surface, don't reach out to touch it. Otherwise, you might actually meet real angels. The gerenuk. The gerenuk looks like a normal antelope. But why is its neck as long as a giraffe's? You might wonder if this is just stretched using Photoshop techniques. Actually, the gerenuk truly exists in nature. It belongs to the Bovidae family in the gerenuk genus of mammals. In biological taxonomy, the gerenuk is neither a sheep nor a cow, but stands as its own distinct group. Its most notable characteristics include a pair of strong but hollow horns on its head and thin, long limbs. It can walk upright on two legs like humans, with its front limbs reaching for tree branches to eat leaves high above the ground. The gerenuk's body length is about 5 feet. It's mainly distributed across Somalia and Kenya in Africa. As a herbivore, it doesn't eat low-growing plants, but feeds on tall trees and their leaves, just like giraffes do. Its diet primarily consists of small branches, leaves, and flower buds from trees, with remarkable balance. It can maintain its stance without any additional posturing for up to 2 hours at a time. Images of the gerenuk appeared in ancient Egyptian tomb paintings dating back to 5600 BC. Somalis hold the gerenuk in high regard, believing it to be a relative of the camel. They believe that killing a gerenuk would spread disease and take away their camels. The Galapagos batfish. This might be the world's sexiest fish, with its natural flaming red lips that captivate countless creatures on the ocean floor. But those white whiskers and wise-looking eyes make it resemble an old man wearing lipstick. That's why people call it the red-lipped batfish, also known as the Galapagos batfish. Many people initially think these images are photoshopped memes. However, this fish with its sensual lips tells you it's absolutely real. It typically inhabits the deep waters of the southeastern Pacific Ocean, from the Galapagos Islands to Peru. It has a short, thick tail and a pancake-flat body that, when viewed from the front, resembles a swimming crab. With such refined features, doesn't it look like your buddy's girlfriend? Although it's classified as a fish, it's not particularly good at swimming. It has 4 fin-like appendages that resemble legs, pectoral, and pelvic fins. Most of the time, it catwalk struts along the ocean floor. Sometimes it does swim, wiggling its bottom and swaying its tail, slow-moving but nonetheless elegant. Its main diet consists of small fish and shrimp. The red-lipped batfish also serves another role as an ocean floor cleaner. Because it moves so leisurely, it struggles to catch other creatures, so it primarily feeds on algae. When warm ocean currents sweep through their habitat, algae proliferate extensively. Corals die from lack of oxygen, causing some fish to lose their shelter and migrate elsewhere. This is when the red-lipped batfish steps in. It can quickly clear away algae, helping other fish maintain their protective habitats. It's truly the big brother of the fish world. Though I may be ugly, I am gentle at heart. The jewel scarab. This insect, which looks perfectly at home next to gold jewelry, is the jewel scarab. And no, this isn't paint applied by humans. They naturally look this way. The jewel scarab is a type of beetle found in Central American rainforests, primarily distributed throughout Costa Rica and southeastern Mexico. They're most commonly found in mountains at elevations of around 2,000 feet. You might wonder if such a flashy appearance would make them easy targets for predators, disadvantaging their ability to hide. Actually, it's an incredibly clever disguise, since tropical rainforests experience high temperatures and frequent rainfall year-round. Water droplets often hang from leaves. When sunlight hits these droplets, they appear as bright spots. The jewel scarab uses its smooth exterior to reflect sunlight, making itself look like a sun-illuminated water droplet from any angle, thereby blending perfectly with its surroundings. So don't worry, the jewel scarab's seemingly conspicuous appearance actually greatly deceives predators' eyes, causing them to mistake the beetles for water droplets and allowing the insects to escape being eaten. According to National Geographic magazine, certain popular varieties of jewel scarabs can sell for up to $500, making them highly collectible. In terms of color and luster, there's perhaps no animal that looks more like a Photoshop creation than the jewel scarab. Pacific lamprey. The species I'm about to introduce might give you nightmares, as it's the prototype for monsters in some horror movies. The Pacific lamprey is the original model for those large black worms that devoured entire people in the famous King Kong movie. You might think this must be photoshopped, but it actually exists in waters around northeastern China, northern Europe and Asia, Korea, Japan, and North America. They've been living on Earth for 350 million years, and their appearance has remained virtually unchanged since then, perfectly bypassing Darwin's theory of evolution. The lamprey looks similar to ordinary eels, but if you see its mouth, you'll get goosebumps all over. It has no upper or lower jaw, and inside its mouth are around 150 sharp teeth. People with trypophobia would faint just by looking at it once. They primarily survive by sucking the blood and bodily fluids of other fish, earning them the nickname vampires of the water. Fish that get latched onto by lampreys rarely escape alive. First, the lamprey attaches its mouth to one side of the fish, like a fishhook. It bites the fish with its densely packed teeth. Next, It uses its sharp tongue to drill a hole in the fish's body, continuing until it has completely drained a fish. If you encounter a Pacific lamprey, make sure to stay far away. Once they latch on, they won't stop until they've had their fill of blood. The happy face spider. After seeing such terrifying creatures, let's look at something interesting to lighten the mood. Have you ever seen a spider that smiles? On the Hawaiian Islands in the United States, there's a unique spider called the happy face spider. It has colorful markings on its body that resemble a smiling face. Its abdomen features colored spots that look remarkably like a human face, which is how it got its name. Scientists believe this distinctive pattern serves to deter other predatory animals. However, not every specimen of this species looks the same. People later discovered that the markings on the dorsal side of the happy face spider's abdomen come in at least 19 different variations. The pattern on its back depends on the food it consumes, displaying combinations of red, black, and white, despite its vibrant colors. This spider is harmless to humans. These colors help the spider confuse its natural enemies. The bright red mouth serves as a warning sign to cautious predators, suggesting toxicity and giving the spider crucial time to escape. It's quite tiny, measuring only about 1/5 of an inch long. It typically spins webs like ordinary spiders and mainly feeds on small insects that get caught in its web. In 1993, Oxford, a senior lecturer in the biology department at the University of York in England who studies spiders, said, "When I turned over a leaf and saw it, I couldn't help but smile myself. With its adorable appearance, the happy face spider has won the affection of many people." The gulper eel. This eel, which looks like a miniature venom, appears quite ordinary when it's not feeding. But whenever it opens its terrifying mouth, you'll definitely be startled. It's called the gulper eel, one of the most peculiar-looking creatures in the deep sea, with a body length of about 6 feet. Its most distinctive feature is its enormous mouth that opens extremely wide, a mouth larger than its own body, capable of swallowing animals much bigger than itself. The gulper eel's presence spans across the world. They live at depths of approximately 10,000 feet below sea level, in cold, dark places where they basically never see sunlight throughout their lives. They swallow everything they encounter while swimming, such as fish, shrimp, and plankton. The gulper eel's bizarre appearance makes people curious. Its gigantic jaw hangs loosely, connected to its head, and when opened, resembles a large net. The jaw muscles are the only well-developed muscles in its body, perhaps enabling the gulper eel to rapidly open its lower jaw and swallow prey into its large mouth. Like many deep-sea fish, they have a light-producing organ at the tip of their tail that can emit red light. Some scientists believe they might frequently hold their tail in front of their mouth as bait to lure prey. The gaboon viper. This snake, which looks like a small toy, should never be played with in your hands. Not only does it have an extremely strong desire to attack, but also carries deadly venom, and its fangs can grow up to nearly 3 inches long, longer than any other snake's fangs. It's called the gaboon viper, Africa's largest viper species. It can grow to 5 feet or even longer, weighing nearly 2 pounds. The gaboon viper uses perfect camouflage to ambush its prey. It can disappear completely among a pile of dead leaves. You simply cannot see it. Its body is composed entirely of muscle, resembling a coiled spring as it hides waiting for prey to enter its strike zone. This means that when they attack, their speed is incredibly fast. If you encounter one in the wild, it would be the worst-case scenario because, generally speaking, it's very difficult to spot them with the naked eye in their natural habitat. The most common encounter with a gaboon viper happens when you've already stepped on it. And in the next second, you'll experience the most painful moment of your life. Those 3-inch fangs penetrate deep into your body, resulting in what's considered the most painful snake bite in the world. A bite from a gaboon viper feels like putting your leg in a tiger trap, and the pain only gets worse. Without immediate treatment, death is almost inevitable. The blobfish. The blobfish looks exactly like a meme that's been taken too far, with a mournful face resembling an office worker crushed by the daily grind of life. It's known as the fish with the world's most melancholy expression. Its body has a gelatinous consistency and can grow to about 12 inches long. Completely flaccid. It looks like a walking pile of mush. Quite an eyesore. To be honest, if described in a few words. Fat, bloated, big-nosed, thick-lipped, with lifeless eyes, plus mostly exposed, loose muscle tissue. It inevitably triggers a kind of physiological disgust in people. The blobfish lives along the coasts of Australia and Tasmania, in ocean depths reaching 4,000 feet. Because it's so difficult to reach this fish's habitat, it's rarely discovered by humans. Perhaps the blobfish specifically chose such waters to stay away from humans, since its appearance would forever invite mockery and disgust. But we can't really be blamed for that reaction. On September 13, 2013, British media reported that over 3,000 people participated in an online poll for the world's ugliest animal, organized by the British Ugly Animal Preservation Society. The blobfish won the championship with 795 votes, truly well-deserved. Every animal in nature has its own characteristics. They're like sparks illuminating our colorful world. So, what other surreal animals have you seen? Feel free to leave comments and interact. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like. Guidepedia will bring you more exciting content next time.